Starting off NBA Finals, it ended last week. Golden State Warriors finished off the Boston Celtics in 6 games, as I predicted. So salute to me getting a prediction right for a good minute, man. It's been a minute in sports since I got a prediction all the way right. So salute to me on that. As I predicted, man, Golden State Warriors won in 6. Their 4th title in 8 years. So big salute. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, man. That whole organization throughout these past 10 years, definitely these past 7, 8 years, man. The dynasty is fulfilled. The dynasty is approved, in my opinion, man. And like I said, that was the only thing I believe that was the difference maker, I feel like, in this series. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. Steph Curry won his first NBA Finals MVP. Greatly deserved. He was easily, in my opinion, the best player on the court the entire series. Andrew Wiggins, second, along with, you know what I'm saying, he's a Golden State Warrior as well. Andrew Wiggins was second, in my opinion, in that aspect. Shout out to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, the coach, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. They all got 4 rings now, man. Like I said, their dynasty is confirmed. And going back, like I said, when I gave my prediction, man, that was my biggest takeaway. I believe Golden State's ambition and drive to prove themselves as a dynasty was going to outweigh Boston's young talent getting their first ring, man. And all in all, I think Golden State did exactly that, man. Should be no questions, no debate on if that team is a dynasty. Just going off, not even, like I said last week, I talk about their dynasty run, the championships, but just within the past 2 years, man, after Kevin Durant left, after they lost to the Toronto Raptors, Kevin Durant left. And, of course, in that series, Klay Thompson got hurt. Klay Thompson been hurt for the past 2 years. He just returned earlier in this NBA season. He's been out 2 years, not to count numerous other injuries that team has had. Draymond Green been hurt. Steph Curry been hurt within that time frame as well. The organization as a whole, man, changing arenas, going to the, I believe it's called the Chase Center, if I'm not mistaken. So changing arenas, different roster changes, man, and that's that organization, man, from top to bottom, still sticking with their guys, bringing in guys to complement that team they already had, man. You got to salute the organization. Shit, 2 years ago, they had the worst record in the NBA, man. The worst record in the NBA. Like I said, everybody was getting their laughs off. Golden State, we told y'all. Kevin Durant left. We told y'all this. We told y'all that. I'm on record. Yo, just wait. You know what I'm saying? Just wait. I got y'all last time. They were the worst team in the NBA. Of course, I wasn't too mad at it because, of course, you know what I'm saying, the bubble and the Lakers did what they had to do. But I told y'all, I said, just wait till Golden State get back. Wait till that team, that ownership, that coaching staff, they get the players in position to complement that team. Watch what happened. And 2 years ago, they had the worst record in the league. That next year, just with Steph Curry coming back alone, they got in the play-in tournament. They got eliminated, but they got in the play-in tournament, and bam, the next year, back on top, NBA champions, man. So you got to salute the whole staff, man, the whole organization over at Golden State, man, as well as the Celtics, man. I got to salute the Celtics. Y'all know how I feel about that organization, man. I'm a Lakers fan, so I don't got the best, you know what I'm saying, things to say, but I got to salute them, man. They've been, y'all know, different sports. I talk about that team that just been fighting through the trenches for the next few years and finally getting to the finals, to the championship, and they'll be back. You know what I'm saying? They'll be back. I'm not going to guarantee it, though, but they'll be in the midst because, I mean, I said it with Golden State. You can say, okay, John Morant got hurt. What would have happened in that series? Same thing in the East, man. Chris Middleton didn't get hurt. What would have happened with Milwaukee? So injuries play a role, but at the end of the day, man, when that ball go on the court, you got to do what you got to do. So I got to salute Boston for making it. Like I said, they probably was the best team in the second half of the NBA season, so got to salute them as well. A lot of people feel like they're missing like a true point guard. I can see why people say that, you know what I'm saying, facilitating shots for Tatum and Brown. I can see that. When Williams get fully healthy, Williams is a guy they need to keep around for sure. And y'all got to think about it, man. In terms of Boston, I completely forgot about this as well. I mean, within the past few years in the NBA, we had so many turnarounds and team changing. But you got to remember, man, Boston did have the Isaiah Thomas run. And then they traded for Kyrie Irving and Hayward, and that's supposed to be their highlight, you know, for real. Then they had this whole thing with Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. Yo, should we break them up? Should we trade somebody? Should we bring another piece? Whatever. I think now they got to solidify, they can make it with this team. Maybe they are missing a facilitator because, as we've seen in the finals, man, they're just missing like that person that can set everything up. You know what I'm saying? Like how Rondo did back when they had their first big three with Paul Pierce and those guys. Like, you need somebody to facilitate, get those guys in place to make things happen, man. They just wait to see the team set up. They might need somebody to facilitate, and who that may be, we shall see. Marcus Smart, he was Defensive Player of the Year, so maybe you can work on him over the summertime, get him in better position to help facilitate. I mean, that would be, I mean, if you want to save some money, just get Marcus Smart in a facilitator role on offense. He can play defense already, so give him a facilitating role on offense and, you know what I'm saying, just see what happens. My overall thoughts on the finals, I will admit, I've been saying this for the past few games. It's not been the prettiest, I'll say. Like I said, outside of Steph Curry, Wiggins, Jaylen Brown had spurts, Williams had spurts on defense. But outside of those four guys, man, a lot of players really kind of went ghost, in my opinion. And we know Golden State, they changed the game. Steph Curry, generational talent, generational game changer. But the thing about the three-point, man, you live and you die by it. It kind of makes the game a little bit difficult to watch, man. When you got teams just going up and down the court, throwing up threes, and they're not going in. Now, when they going in, it's amazing. When Steph Curry shooting half court, Jordan Poole doing what he doing, when they going in, it's excitement, the crowd into it. But when you just bricking and you dunking out, you going into the paint, you just throwing it out, and the defense just throwing their hands up, it's like, man, I would like to see some old school San Antonio Spurs, you know what I'm saying? I would like to see that, but that's the game we in now, man. We can't complain about it. Like I said, when it's going in, it's amazing. When it's not, you know what I'm saying, you get the end result. Turnovers, man, in my opinion, the key factor in this NBA Finals. Golden State, throughout their whole entire dynasty, man, they've been turning the ball over. I mean, if you watch Golden State games, they turn the ball over, so they used to it. But Boston, that immediately became their kryptonite. All those turnovers. Jason Tatum just could not get it going. And I say it, man, I get it. Kobe is an inspiration for us all. Whether you play basketball, you do a podcast, just your 9 to 5, you doing what you're doing. If you got a job, Kobe speaks on that in his interviews. That's the Mamba mentality, man. Putting in the work 24/7, doing what you got to do, waking up on time, putting in the extra work. That's Mamba mentality. I know a lot of people thinking it's making clutch shots and, you know what I'm saying, just being a certain type of teammate in basketball. Mamba mentality goes outside of basketball, y'all. And this coming from a Kobe fan, so, you know, I know what I'm speaking about. But in terms of basketball, man, when you talk about Mamba mentality, man, you got to just stop putting that on everybody, man. You got to stop. Tatum was a no-show. The beginning of the Game 6, he had a spurt. And that's exactly what Boston had at the beginning of Game 6, a spurt. Because after that, I think they said Golden State went on like a 21-22-0 run in the first quarter. It was a wrap. Boston was playing catch-up the entire Game 6. They kept that like a 9 to 20 point, you know what I'm saying, deficit that Boston just could never recover. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry going crazy. He was hungry. They wanted to end it. That's what it was, man. In Boston, Al Horford, White, those guys showed up Game 1, but outside of that, they made shots, but you can't have such a statement win in Game 1, then for the rest of the series, you just disappear. Like, you are non-effective, not on offense, not on defense, whatever the case may be. Brown and Williams were the only high points, I feel like, for Boston. Jaylen Brown wasn't on goal the entire series, but I feel like Williams was definitely a high point. Williams is somebody that Boston should look at for their future and say, okay, whatever we got to do to keep this guy healthy, keep this guy going, we need to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like Boston, like I said, they young talent. They haven't been in the finals before. Golden State, they are well acquainted with the finals. And it's a different ball game, man. You can make it through the first round, second round, conference finals. That's cool, but the finals a different ball game, man. Steve Kerr, got to salute Steve Kerr, man. Coaching adjustments, bringing in Otto Porter. I mean, people question it, but hey, Draymond Green doing what he got to do. Let's get to the Warriors real quick. Championship mentality. They was down 2-1 in the series. After Game 1, a lot of people was like, oh, we told y'all. I'm like, fam, it's a 7-game series. It's the first team to get 4 points. 4 games. After Game 1, I saw a lot of people, oh, we told y'all this. All right. All right. We'll see about that. Andrew Wiggins. I gotta salute Andrew Wiggins, man. We know the trade. He was with the Cavs. When Bron came back, they did the trade. Went to Minnesota. Just been bouncing around a little bit. But if it's any team where after you've been bouncing around for a few years and you find a team that can get you settled in and get you to play the position you are meant to play, it's the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So I know he's happy, his journey, all the lead up to this finals win, this championship win, that he was a vital person in. You got to salute Andrew Wiggins, man. He's about to have a good payday. So salute to Andrew Wiggins. Draymond Green stepped up big. I was a fan of Draymond Green. I know a lot of people not a fan of him. I've been a fan. I like that. I come from that. I come from that early 2000s shit-talking era. Kevin Garnett, Shaq, Kobe, Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd talk shit, Gary Payton talk shit. I come from that era. So I love that about him. I'm a fan of him, but I became an even bigger fan of him, man. For somebody to get criticized for they play in the finals, to come alive in Game 6 when, okay, if I'm trashed the entire series, you best believe if my team up to close out, that's the game I'm going to step up in. That's the one game he started to make all the wide open threes. I said, yo, Golden State win. Draymond got to hit them open threes. They're going to leave you open. You just got to knock them down. And I think that was like he was 0 for 17, 0 for 15, something like that. But Game 6, when you're supposed to make them, he started to make them. He started to make plays like he always do. When you got Clay and Steph on the court or Poole and Wiggins on the court, Draymond's going to look like Draymond. Like I said, them past couple years when Golden State was down, they had injuries, the roster changes, he wasn't looking like the Draymond we accustomed to. When he got his boys back on the court and he got some other guys who ready to show up, Draymond's going to look like Draymond. And if anything, I got to salute him for doing his podcast on the press conference thing. At the end of the press conference, he did his podcast, which he was getting criticized for as well. Like, why are you recording a podcast while you got a finals? Fam, like he said, you're going to get this podcast regardless. And for him to do it like that at the end, he talk about the new media, which I feel like I'm a part of the new media. Like, I ain't looking for controversy. I'm going to stand on my word. You know what I'm saying? The new media. So I got to salute Draymond on that point as well. Klay Thompson, coming back from injury, the road, like he said, long days, just thinking about, yo, when I come back to the court, will I even be the same person again? You know what I'm saying? And I will admit, Klay didn't have the best final series. I will admit that. He didn't have the best final series, but it's two parts in basketball, man. You got the offensive side and you got the defensive side. And even on the offensive side, when he wasn't making shots, he was still throwing them hoes up. It ain't like he was just being discouraged and all like, man, my shots ain't going in. I'm going to just pass up. No, Klay was still shooting. And some of them was going in, but he just wasn't as consistent. Like, Game 6, Klay wasn't there, but he still was showing like, yo, y'all know if I hit about 2 or 3 in a row, y'all know what's about to happen. So you got to salute him on that for keep on going. And on the defensive side, man, holding Tatum, holding Jaylen Brown. Hey, if I can't do it on one end of the court, I'm going to do it on the other end of the court. Got to salute him. Gary Payton Jr., Jordan Poole, 2 guys coming off the bench, man, vital key to their championship. Looney as well, Otto Porter, all those guys. And what else left to be said, man? Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, man, easily top 10 right now. I don't care who you put out. As long as the Mamba's still in top 10, top 5, Mamba top 5. Curry might be top 5 depending on who you ask. He changed the game. You go to a court now, you don't see no layup lines, you don't see no dunks, you don't see no mid-range. You see these boys shooting half court. And who? Steph Curry. That's who. Steph Curry showed up, man. Proved the doubters wrong. I got to salute him on that. I got to salute. Like, I understand we had that time period where it just Golden State versus Cavs, Golden State versus Cavs. And I got tired. I got definitely tired of when Kevin Durant was there because I was like, fam, this is not a matchup. But when they was down for those 2 years, everybody was talking. Yeah, we told y'all Curry, they can't do it without KD. They this and that, whoop-de-whoop. I said it. I said, yo, just wait. Just wait. That organization is not going to break up Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. If you got those 3 guys on the court, you can make something happen. And I was telling y'all, like, yo, just sit back, relax, and wait. And what happened? Another championship, the 4th championship in 8 years. Man, I got to salute them. I got to salute Golden State, man. As far as next year, y'all know I'm that type of fan. First of all, I'm that type of fan where I'm going to immediately go for my team. So next year, Lake Show will be back on top. You know what I'm saying? Late Show will be some way, somehow. Late Show will be back on top next year. But no, just y'all know we'll settle that next year. But Golden State, man, back on top, king of the mountains again. Salute to Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iggy, Steve Kerr, man. Four title, 4 rings, man. Major salute.